I don't know anybody else in the Philippines or a Filipino who likes Reba McEntire's music. And me myself, I only started listening to her music around 2015. I was interested in the solos, in the Dan Huff solos, and but I realized that there was so much more to the music than just listening to like The Heart Is a Lonely Hunter. uh, it's just it's a great combination of, in the first place, Reba's singing is great, uh, with all the little vibrato things, uh, which which is sort of definitive of country music, and also the songwriting, especially like the first 20 years of her career. So those are the songs that I really just continue to go back to. Because Reba is quite popular worldwide, it's still surprising for me to see such low view counts for some of her great songs on YouTube. And and it's too bad that a lot of the uploads come from the official Reba McEntire channel, because they do not allow comments on the songs. And I don't know about you, but me myself, when I'm listening to a song that I really like, I kind of like the corroboration of commenters, which kind of actually makes me want to listen to the songs more. So it's just too bad that for whatever reason, the official Reba McEntire channel does not allow comments. But this might change. I'm not sure. Maybe this will be viewed by them and they'll realize the error of their ways. And also I do hope that this video does not get a copyright strike, because I'm going to be playing some clips of her songs. So just looking now at her top 10 songs on Spotify, I see the most popular one, is the most listened to one, is Fancy from the album Rumor Has It. It has 57 million plus views, and I'm actually not even that familiar with the song, so I listened again yesterday, and yeah, for some reason it's such a big hit, but for me it doesn't do much. I guess because coming from a metal hard rock background, something like this doesn't really strike me as heavy or intense. And actually, I go to Reba McEntire's music precisely because it's so much softer and more delicate and more melodic than the stuff that's usually associated with heavy metal. And so something like Fancy kind of has this heavy blues rock thing going for it, and yeah, it's just boring for me. And this other song, The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia, uh, 37 million plus views. It's the second, sorry, not views, listens, streams. And it has a similar rhythm, similar style of vibe as Fancy. And I guess a lot of the appeal has to do with the lyrics, which I don't really bother with. But yeah, apparently it's something about somebody on death row or something. Yeah. These two most listened to songs of Reba McEntire, just I'm very indifferent towards. And then I'm surprised to see. Well, I don't know this song going out like that. It's one of Reba's later songs, and I'm sorry to say that I'm not very familiar with stuff from like 1999 onwards. And then this one, it's a cover of Kelly Clarkson. That's her fourth most listened to song, and that's just too bad that of all things it has to be something by Kelly Clarkson. And I guess, well, they're related, so I could see why she made the cover. Like there's that association, but yeah, if I want to listen to this song because of you, I'd rather go to Kelly Clarkson herself. And yeah, these other songs, I'm a Survivor, Does He Love You? Well, among the top 10 songs, the only one that I actually like is Does He Love You? It's a nice duet with Linda Davis, and Linda Davis's voice is also great here. But it's not a particular favorite of mine. Oh my goodness, what is that? What can I do? But there's apparently some work being done near my room. So, but I guess I'm still audible, right? I'm gonna find out. But just pretend like it's some kind of like wartime sounds, or like some background music while like I'm in the studio and you're listening to some drum tracks or something. Anyway, so yeah, I like Does He Love You? It has pretty interesting key changes, and it's a nice melody, and I guess a lot of people would like the very definitively country music lyrics, which is always about somebody being betrayed in some way. And then Is There Life Out There? It's an okay song, but I can't believe that it's a top 10 most listened song. Dear Rodeo, I don't even know this. Mind Your Own Business, and Back to God. Yeah, so apparently it's good to see that, you know, she's a witness of Jesus Christ, or to Jesus Christ. Anyway, she's a witness through her music. So that's cool to see, at least. So initially, when I started getting into her music, the period in which I was most familiar with was the late 80s, early 90s. So stuff from like her self-titled album Reba from the year 1988. And that's actually still my favorite album, actually. I also really like Rumor Has It, even though that has a song, even though that contains Fancy, which I do not fancy. I like it because it has You Lie, which is a great ballad, and the song Fallen Out of Love. But after a while, I found out that she has such great stuff, even from her debut album, which was like, is it 1977? So her debut album, I wasn't able to listen to it until only, I think, 2018, 2019, when Spotify put it up. Because previously, the discography of Reba was limited on Spotify. It was limited to her compilations. But when they finally put up the individual albums, yeah, that was so great. So in her album Feel the Fire, one of the most popular song would be You Lift Me Up to Heaven, which I enjoy, I really like. But my favorite would be Long Distance Lover. And you could listen to it amid the hammering. So in her next album, Heart to Heart, well, it's relatively less impressive than Feel the Fire, but I like how it closes with the song Love by Love. So Unlimited, which came out the year 1982, became her, in my opinion, her best album until then. And I really like the song Out of the Blue, and the ballad Everything I'll Ever Own. That's another favorite of mine. And then Behind the Scene is another favorite of mine during the early 80s. The first song, Love Isn't Love Till You Give It Away, yeah, I really like that. And the song You Really Better Love Me After This, I don't know, it sounds very dramatic. So the chorus of this song comes nearly at the 2-minute mark. So it really builds up all the way until finally. towards the end of the song, I really like how the strings kick in just right after the chorus. Other stuff I like. I also really like I'm Getting Over You from the album Just a Little Love, 1984. And then in the album My Kind of Country, also in the year 1984, my favorite song is Everything But My Heart. It's a great ballad, can I say. I love the opening riff. Listen to it. Listen out for it. It's on Spotify, if not on YouTube. And then from the album, whoever's in New England, I'm also not too big a fan of that album. Even though the title track is fairly good, I like it. And there are like a couple of songs I also appreciate. But I'm actually more impressed by this compilation, sort of B-side album called Reba Nell McEntire. So I guess, yeah, that's a weird thing with Reba. It's like she has 3 self-titled albums. Her very first album was Reba McEntire, and then this one from 1986 is called Reba Nell McEntire, which apparently is her middle name or something. And then she also has a self-titled album called Reba from 1988. So yeah, she's just so good. She needs 3 self-titled albums. From the album What Am I Gonna Do About You? She also has another song, What You Gonna Do About Me? Yeah, it's like she's almost limited by the number of words she could use or something. I'm just kidding. So from this album, What Am I Gonna Do About You? It's the title track that's my favorite actually. You're gonna hear a similar intro in New Fool at an Old Game, which is one of my all-time favorite songs. And also, you're gonna hear something similar in the song Somebody Should Leave, which is from 1984. But anyway, and so it's funny now. I've been listening to her music for like 6 years now, and it's only now that I found out that one of my favorites, New Fool at an Old Game, is actually a cover of. She's not the one who originally performed it, although a lot of her songs are really covers. And then the album, The Last One to Know from 1987. Yeah, it has the song What You Gonna Do About Me, and it's not. This particular song, The Stairs, isn't a favorite of mine, but it's just very, it's kind of distinctive for me because of the lyrical matter. It's like it's about domestic violence, but if you listen to the melody, it sounds so sweet. Yeah, so that's something I just enjoy listening to. And then her third self-titled album, Reba. Yeah, as I said, New Fool at an Old Game. It's just a great song. And then the one that follows it, You're the One I Dream About. Another great one. And after that, another great one, Silly Me. I just really love this album. And then there's a song Respect, apparently a cover of Aretha Franklin, which I do not care for. And then this is just about my favorite song first, I Know How He Feels. So I love how the drums come in during the second chorus. Here we go. also really like Wish I Were Only Lonely, which is another cover. And the weird thing about Reba's covers are she doesn't just cover stuff like from like a decade ago or whatever. She does like this one, I Know How He Feels. Sorry, Wish I Were Only Lonely, and You Fool at an Old Game. Someone, Michelle Wright is the name, actually recorded those songs just in the same year, 1988. So just kind of weird, but Reba's versions are better anyway. And I like how it closes with this just guitar and vocals for the song Every Time You Touch Her. And the following album, I also don't really, I'm not too big a fan of. It Always Rains on Saturday would probably be my favorite song from the album, Sweet 16. And then comes Rumor Has It in 1990. And I mentioned that my favorite songs there are You Lie and Fallen Out of Love. And then For My Broken Heart, her 1991 album, it took me a while to. It's never been a favorite of mine actually, but I probably appreciate it now, the past couple of years more than I did when I was really heavy into listening to Reba's music like 2015, 2016. I like For My Broken Heart. Yeah, it's great. There's a whole story about that because her band apparently most of the band died in a plane crash before this album, and so the album's dedicated to them. And the song "The Greatest Man I Never Knew," it's a favorite. Apparently, it's a fan favorite, and it's only recently that I came to appreciate it really. And at this point, it's like my interest in the music that she's putting out is sort of waning, but I still really like some stuff she has. Like in the first place, the main reason why I even started listening to Reba in the first place was the song "The Heart Is a Lonely Hunter," because it contains a solo by Dan Huff. Yeah, Dan Huff. He's a producer of 2 Megadeth albums, so that's kind of how I got to listening to Reba actually. She has another album, Starting Over, and that actually contains one of my favorite songs of hers, Talking in Your Sleep. And yeah, it's been a toss up between that and I Know How He Feels for my favorite song of Reba's. And because of Talking in Your Sleep, I got familiar with the singer who first sang that song, Crystal Gayle. And yeah, I don't like her quite as much as Reba, but I also appreciate a lot of her stuff. And yeah, so around 1996 or so, I'm just less and less interested in her music. Although I like stuff like her Brooks and Dunn duet, or is it a trio? I don't even know. I don't even know if Brooks and Dunn are 2 different people or I don't know. But yeah, I like the song If You See Him, If You See Her. Among the songs that I first encountered are Somebody and You're Gonna Be, because they were in the compilation album of Reba in Spotify back in 2015. But I don't really listen to that stuff that much anymore because there's just so much better stuff from the 70s and the 90s. So that's my overview of the stuff I like of Reba McEntire, and you should listen to her on YouTube or Spotify. So I'll have mixed feelings when I find out that somebody else from the Philippines actually likes her music. Mixed because I'll be happy because I'll have someone to share my experience with, but at the same time, my exclusive club containing just me will be dismantled basically.